Yeah. Let me yeah, okay. So basically the assert does not happen with the 1 second sleep. And if I don't sleep, then it does happen. Or not. This is so annoying. I think that one of the threads is reaching that point very soon, before the other thread reaches the assert. So I have to add a sleep first here. No. I want to crash if both threads get here. So I need something like a counter. Let's make a static atomic int. So the first thread that comes here adds 1 and it was 0. So that sleeps for 2 seconds and then crashes. If the second thread that comes here does not see 0, does not sleep, immediately crashes. I think I want to see a difference between the two. Yeah, well, okay. So, hi. Great, that worked. So now it stops on the assert. And let's see if this is reproducible. Now it did not stop on the assert. Wow. Stops on the assert. A different one. Also assert, no assert. It's only like 1 in 3 times or 2 in 3 times or something that the assert fires. What if I add a 1 millisecond delay? I had the feeling that was more producible than. Yeah, still a read script pipeline. Now there is a possibility that I'm creating maybe I get there 3 times for some reason. So instead I'll do damn it, where's my other sleep? Let's add a sleep here as well. Maybe 1 second then. Might not be enough. Well, wait. Yeah, of course 1 second is enough. Because I'm not sleeping 1 second currently in the between the creation, between the start of the pipeline factories. Assert fails. Assert fails. Assert fails. Nope, it's really. It is really reaching that. So there is no count 3, I think. Or even that I can test. Previous count. So we never get there 3 times. Nope. Well, okay. I just have to run it a few times, I guess. So next, I want to know where the assert happened. I already know that, but where was it? Actually, good question. Okay, so now the assert happened. I think this assertion. Let's see whether it was just going up. I think I already passed it. It's frame 7. This is where the assert happens. Damn it, it is in pipeline layout. Generate. However, I think the error already is being passed to this function right here. There are 2 threads. One thread reaches a certain point before the other thread, and then the thread that did not reach that point should have a certain order of realized descriptor set layouts, and it doesn't. That's why it goes wrong. So I do not really have to call this function. I only have to inspect that value at the moment that I already know that this is the thread that is too late, so to say. But I'm not sure I can check that. You never know. That maybe they both already entered it. It is already open source. Yeah, at the bottom of the description I have the link to the GitHub repository. Well, this function is being called by 2 threads. And then one of the threads, well, the first one that reaches this point, this line here, takes a read log, so the other one is blocked here, and it will not find the pipeline because it's the first one. So this find returns end. So this if is equal, iterator equals end, and it prints this. I want to remember that it was that one thread reached that point. So I can go to I can just add incremental counter here as well. Let's say we do the same kind of thing-ish. So I have a previous count is some count which must be static, fetch add 1, and then assert previous count equals 0, because we must be the first one that gets here. It's no other way. Now there is a problematic thing that it is possible that the other thread, that is second, is already somewhere here. So it already entered the function. Well, what I would like is to go back as far as possible and early check, so to say, the value in this container. The values in this container. But I think we can be pretty sure that, let me see, this is vector of set layout. I think I can add a lot of asserts. First of all, the size must be always 3. In fact, that's always the case. I can also add that to the top. Hello, Llama. And the Mia's back. So the first one should always have, oh, that's not true. Let me think. Nope. I don't know which one is the first. Okay, let's check that. I need to figure out how to get the actual data that I want to check anyway. So the size was 3, and then I have this is a vector, so I have a 0 and a 1 and a 2. And it returns a set layout. Right? It is a vector of a set layout. Yeah, set layout. And the set layout contains the set index, and I guess also sorted bindings. Yep, let's see. I have for both an accessor, sorted bindings, and SetIndexHint. Now the first thread that is started, and then I wait a millisecond, so you would think that it gets here first. Although you never know. And thus have set index equal to 0. Well, that's a set index. I have to do get value test set. This is anyway. This is the values that are used by the thread that runs the first pipeline factory. You know, that is started first. So if the 1 millisecond delay is enough, then that should get here first, and then this assert should always hold. I would think. But it's very likely, well, it's very possible, I should say, that one thread overtakes the other one anyway. Nonsensical. Yeah, hi, Brainy XS. XS stands for extra small, you know that, right? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I realize that is a joke. Use of undeclared, yeah, I have to add that somewhere. That was going to be a static atomic int. You can make part of that class. I might as well add it locally, right? Well, maybe I'm going to need it. Logical device. Yeah, I'm going to add it, I think, for logical device. Oh, so it was not intended. Then what was the intention originally? In place pipeline layout. Let's see our add a static. In Vulkan. Every static must be added to a .cpp file or .cxx in my case. So that is the instantiation of this variable. Not sure. I guess that default construction also makes it 0, but okay. Impossible. Oh, wait, that happens when the read-write lock throws an exception. I think. It throws an exception we get here, and it starts from the top. Seems related to the problem, I have to say. In pipeline layouts. What was the problem when I said it's impossible? Oh, finally. The thread that first enters this function. Bindings, I think that's the only thing that's relevant. Oh, the order is 0 to 1. Yeah, it's ordered. That's stupid of me. It is ordered in a way that is not even looking at SetIndex. So I can simply not even know the order. Depends on the handle value even, I think. Although these two are the same, that's pretty random. Nevertheless, in the second call, we see that the 0 and the 1 are swapped. It's where it is 1 and the 0 is lost. I still think that this assert is impossible. The one that entered first. Ring. Nope, this is the one that entered first. The one that enters first. Read locked pipeline layouts. Oh, right. Yeah, well, yes. So that doesn't stop the other one of read locking it. We can have two read locks at the same time. So this one does a read lock, and then okay, I'm getting it. Second one also does a read lock. So they just both do a find, and they both don't find it. Feeling more stupid by the day, man. This is just a read lock, so it doesn't block the other thread at all. So both take the read lock, and then both search in the cache, and neither of them find it. And therefore we assert on this impossible insert, which is not impossible because it's a read lock. And then both both create a vector of vulkan handles from the realized descriptor set layouts in a certain order. Both create a pipeline layout, really? And then both try to get the right lock. And then one of them fails. Leonidas 28 years. And assert, what are you building exactly? Yeah, a Vulkan engine. Okay, I don't know how to say it more accurately. Special type maybe, but so if both get the read lock, then one of them must throw. Yeah, what happens is, say one gets both get the read lock. We are here. Only one thread tries to continue. It obviously doesn't find anything because it's the first. And then when it tries to get the write log here, it is going to wait for all the read logs to disappear. So the blocks here, because the other one has the read log. Then the other one that has the read log does exactly the same thing, therefore it will also not find anything, because nothing was added yet. You can only add something when the write log was taken and it was added. Write log was not taken yet, nothing was added. It will also not find something. So it's gonna do all these things as well until it gets to where it wants to convert the read log to a write log, and then it says, well, that's a deadlock, so that throws an exception, destroying the pipeline layout that it created, ignoring this map that it created. This vector is destroyed. It's not decrementing my fetch count. That's not nice. So that thread then gets here. It calls read to write log yield, which then allows the other one to continue, get the write log. So this one now has the write log and places the created pipeline layouts in the cache. So it has the pipeline layout was already existed, so this is really short write log. And I release the write log again. I could wait with creating the whole pipeline layout until after I have the write log, but then I would have the write log longer, so that's why I did choose for this approach, where I just create it and then throw it away if it was a race condition. The other thread only gets here tries it again when the other thread already has the write log. So now this thread hangs here on the read log until it was the other thread added pipeline layout and released the read log. Then we get release the write log, I mean, and then we get the read log here. So then it will find it. And then we will not enter this. At any rate, there's absolutely nothing I can say at this point about the state of these things, so might as well remove it. What I can do is make sure that the state of realized, I'm very interested in the state of this vector. You know, that's something that we have to check inside and out. And I would like to make sure that there's only two possible states. So I could make an assert that checks that the state is one of those two states. This seems kind of nonsense. Even this is nonsense, but I'll keep it for now. So instead I'm going to check that even that is very hard to do. Let's see at the ordering. It says sorted, but how is it sorted? It's just a vector. So it depends on what we pass to it. Try and place pipeline layout, right? So that is being passed, which is what is being returned by flat create info get which returns that pointer, which is added by add descriptor set layout. Already went here 5 times in the past. Which is called here. Which is therefore what is returned by sorted descriptor set layouts, which is this thing. Which is added to by this call to this function, and then every time we call it, we sort it at the end. And finally, where it is being sorted by set layout compare, which uses layout binding compare. This is always false. Descriptor, so it's ordering on descriptor type first, then stage flags. It's not sorting on handle. Well, that's a good thing, of course. So the PM mutable samplers are always a null pointer. The descriptor type is of course fixed. Stage flags also fixed. Pop count will be fixed. Descriptor count is fixed. Everything is fixed. So the sorting order should be fixed. I think that the problem that I'm thinking about is that if two elements are equal, then their order is not determined. You just don't know which order they end up in, which makes it very hard to do this debugging. So I'm going to change this ordering thing, that in the case that everything is equal, I'm still going to order it on something that is otherwise irrelevant. In other words, we're going to do if that is unequal that, then I return that. Otherwise, I'm going to return wait a minute. I don't know anything else. Well, the only thing I could do then is an on binding number. Maybe that would work. No, that's not helping any one bit. The only thing left is binding number. I was more thinking about okay, well, do that anyway then. So left hand side binding, so less than right hand side binding. Just for the sake of getting reproducible results. And this is the layout binding compare, which is used here on set layout. And set layout does have the set index. So I want to sort on this when this is equal. Well, the only thing I can think of is to compare them both. Sorry, to compare it twice. So if this returns true, that means that one is less than the other, which means they are unequal, which means I can return true. And if I compare it inversed, so we do a right hand side and left hand side, we swap those. If that is true, then they are also unequal, but then the result is false. And then if we get here, they are equal, which means that this one is not less than the other one, so I also should return false. However, instead of returning false, I'm now going to return left hand side dot SetIndexHint. It's less than the right hand side. SetIndexHint. So that in, yeah, same thing. It's the binding. So now it's taken into account, and then we really know what the sorting order will be. And that was called from here, so that is then the sorting of absort the descriptor set layouts. Which is the pointer of which was passed to add descriptor set layouts of the flat create info, and therefore that is what is being returned by get realized descriptor set layouts. So now realize the descriptor set layouts here is deterministically sorted, which we then pass to the try and place pipeline layout. So now I can finally draw some conclusions, definite conclusions about the two states. There's now really only two possible states. And let's guess that it's not being different than what he had was in terms of set index, that we had one case where it was ordered like this last time I checked. Or the other way around. Yeah, so that like this. The other way around, meaning that 1 and 0 was swapped. So if these two are the only two possible states, then it should not assert here, like never. Yeah, Mark, sorry for not reading the chat for a while. What made me so interested in Vulkan? I don't know, just the usual thing, something that didn't work. I bought a VR headset to play that one game, which I forgot the name of, and it didn't work on the Linux. So I thought maybe you can find out why it's not working on the Linux. But the only way to find out is by writing my own engine and do it yourself. You have to do everything yourself. Crazy. Besides that is that it seems interesting to be able to write applications that show virtual worlds and stuff like that. Among others, I've been living in Second Life for 10 years. I'm now out of it. It got too boring, but it's still, yeah, I'm still interested in that. UBG. And this is extremely funny. This fixed the bug. This bloody fixed the bug. I'm not even knocking on wood saying that, because it's perfectly fine by me to get a crash. Nope, it's 100% reproducible, it seems. Oh, insanity. Now, if only I could understand that. Because I still don't understand it, really. Yep, well, let's remove this. See if it still works. Yep. Okay, now I have to understand it, right? Why did this solve the problem? What is the matter, Demir? Why do you think I'm not calm? Okay. Why? Maybe you meant that I did run it 20 times. That is a statistical thing. It's I forgot the details, but it's just something that hangs in the back of my mind. If I want to reproduce something, say I have a bug, I run it 20 times and it does 20 times the exact same thing, or the bug does not happen 20 times in a row, then that's the moment that you can stop. Some kind of significant, there's some kind of statistical significance. I believe the difference is that, say, if you have too few measure points, then you need to use a student t distribution. And at 20, that's kind of starts to become irrelevant. Or no, what's the word? I can't think of the word. I understand what I mean, but I just don't know how to say it in words. Mario, I didn't work on that. Maybe I should. Shall I work on my FAQ? I could add one to my home directory, maybe, to have a link. He means, I think, a web server. Web servers are written in C, and you could also write them in C++. I would write it in C++, not in C. So yeah, what you basically need is my library, right? I mean, it can do anything. It's super fast, guaranteed. EVIO has sockets. It has an TLS socket, so that's for HTTPS. And it has already a little bit of HTML support, although, well, protocol. So HTTP. Not saying you should now drop everything and clone my repository to write a website based on this, because you're not going to succeed. I'm just saying that this is fast code. If you want to have a really, really fast web server, then if you succeed writing one with my code, then you pretty much cannot get faster. But it's so difficult to use that I don't think it's worth the time that you will need to learn how to use my library. So yeah. Why did it make a difference? Let me think about this. I think that without doing this, I get 4 states where the first 2 elements can be swapped. So I can test that by swapping the 0 and the 2 here, and the 1 and the 2, and then get 2 more states, I mean. So I check now 0 to 1 and 1 to 0, and then I can also allow 2 0 1 and 2 1 0. In both cases the 2 is swapped, sometimes with 0 and sometimes with 1. And if that is the case, then this assert is obviously going wrong, because it explicitly tests on 2. So that could be an explanation. I think that what happened is that I had the problem. Then I added these asserts to get an early detection thereof. Then I fixed the bug that I did that yesterday and the day before that. Then I saw that my asserts were still failing, so I thought, what? Did I not fix the bug? And now I discovered that really the asserts are just wrong. Yep. What I'm going to do is fix these asserts, take into account that we are not sorting on SetIndexHint. Let me start with removing that sort, which means I have no idea. Get div. So this, right? Let me put this back in the script of setLayout.h. Okay, in descriptor setLayout. It goes wrong again, yes, but I did not assert on this test. Okay, but that's probably maybe because I only have the test here. Yeah, I'm not going to use this S count, I think. Let's remove the whole S count. No, if only I did get $200 an hour for this. But I get zero. Nada. Every time I worked for money, it was a frustration. I didn't like it. I really put all my effort into it. So everyone was always super happy with what I did. But it's just stress, man. It's just stress. Now I can sit here relaxed. No worries. I have to run this until we do not reach great graphics pipeline, which is like now. No, it's still widget. Okay, now something failed. Good, and I want to test it like way up. Okay, now my hypothesis was that if I add 2 more of those, or I swap these two, then I should not assert here anymore. Note that now it hangs in the beginning. That is because there is my code begins with calibrating a delay loop, and that's based on statistics also. So I'm running it until I'm 99.9% sure about something, and if it begins wrong, so there is an interrupt while it just begins, then it needs a lot longer to run before it becomes certain about something. So occasionally it just hangs in the beginning during a second or what. I use a delay loop in my spin lock read-write locks, or mutex as I call them, which are used by my thread pool, among others. Pipeline found in cache, crash here, okay. That's the same line, right? 1388. Reached graphics pipeline. Let me highlight it so I don't have to look for it. $13.88. $13.88. Reached 1388 or 1390, that will work for me too. It's 2 lines down. Okay, so this assert or 2 lines down. The binding is still equal, and that might be because I'm still sorting the binding. So let's ignore that for a moment. Now, how can I fix these asserts if, under certain circumstances, the 2 swaps with one of the others? Well, firstly, old. Don't rub it in. I'm from the Netherlands. What am I not having here? 0, 1, 2, clearly. I do have 0, 2, 1. Then I get 1, 0, 2. It's not there. That's the only things that are not there. Well, I'm good at coding, but I'm not good at running companies. So no. And Mario answered for me. I am from the Netherlands. And assert. Okay, I'm starting with top at 0. That is the first pipeline engine. Pipeline factory, I mean. And left is 1, and bottom is 2. And that results in the ordering 1, 2, 0 or 2, 1, 0, because left and bottom are then indistinguishable. And the other one is top is 1 and left is 0 and bottom is 2, which then results in uh, 0, 2, 1 or 2, 0, 1. And these two, so the OR, are really random. So you cannot say anything about it if you ask me. And then what I test below here, what I want to test here is that one of them is 1 and the other one is the other one, meaning left and top were switched. So left and top are switched, which means that 0 and 1 are switched. Which means that the last one yeah, the third one here is a 0 and it becomes a 1. But the 1 can become a 0 or it can become a 2. I'm not happy with the randomness of that. Let me make sure that I didn't screw something up with this find here. We are finding in pipeline layouts R, which is using push constant range compare. No, it's using pair compare of set layout compare. Oops. I still change that. I guess it doesn't matter. We just have to live with some random ordering. Really doesn't matter. So how do I put that into asserts here? This runs over the input and output in order. I just have to combine the first two. So the first two are indistinguishable, so I might as well combine them. And one way to do that, I guess, is to if you ask me, I can do that by only remembering the top. So I encode this as 0 and I encode these two as 1. And so the top is always last because it has two bindings. It gets then ordered such that it is last. And the other two are just have a single binding, always a uniform buffer, always a vertex shader. So they are indistinguishable. So these two can just randomly be 0, 2 or 2, 0, because for the sorting that does not make a difference. And then the only thing I want to check is that, well, in the beginning I had the bug that I ended up with 0 here and 0 here, or 1 here and 1 here. I think I fixed that in the meantime. So the only thing I have to check is that if one has 0, then the other one has 1 at the end. That's the only thing I have to check. Therefore, this running over the all the elements is nonsensical. I just should start with the end. You can use rbegin, I guess. Immediately dereference them. Sorry, that's. Well, I might want to know the binding number. Yeah, well, I don't know if this works and the binding number works as well. It's not even a binding anymore. Oh wait, it was nonsense. Nonsense. So. It begins here. Set layout. Okay, I was confusing the assert objective with what it's actually doing. It's making this map here. So I cannot touch it. Cannot touch these iterators in this loop. Just run over all the entries of realized descriptor set layouts, so it's the input, and the sorted set layouts, which is what we just found. Same for the bindings. And then I create 2 set bindings from that. And then we insert it into the binding map. Which it started to doubt if I couldn't just still really better do it differently, but change it after it works. So for the assert, yeah, the asserts are specific for the test, for the uniform buffer test. So in that case, I know that size is 3. Just going to make an int that is counting along. So not quite true. I think I should use a webcam, because when I'm thinking, you can see me think. Yeah, but I'm not saying anything, but people told me I have an expressive face and stuff. So, yeah, maybe that would be fun for viewers, I don't know. At least then the silences from my side wouldn't make the stream completely dead. That's for sure. What to do? Yeah, there's nothing to test. There is nothing to test. Except the last one. Now I have to look separately at the binding. The bindings are always 0 unless it's the last element unless it's top, in which case you theoretically it could use binding 0, I guess, for the texture. No, the order could be switched. No, the order cannot be switched because the texture is different from uniform buffer. So in terms of the assert, there's nothing to test for binding. Well, what I can test is that the binding is always equal. But also that only has to be tested for the last element, I think, because otherwise it's just always 0. Both are 0. So that will do. And I can then remove the specific ordering on the binding, because that didn't do anything, I think. Holy shit. It's hanging long now. Well, 17, 18, 19, 20 takes a long time again. Gonna wonder if I can fix that. Could put a timer on it. If it takes longer than 100 milliseconds, abort and begin anew, because in most cases it's way faster. Okay, so yeah, that seems to work now with this assert. And now I have to think about what is next. I cannot remember it anymore. I thought that word dangerous appeared there. Dangerous. Yeah. I wanted to make this const from the very beginning. Might as well make this const. Might as well. It should be const. Just cannot be not const. That's all crux of it. And that is a virtual function of a uniform test blah 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 base. Nope, it's probably a virtual function of characteristic. In other words, characteristic range. Can type initialize. Const. Now let's see what goes wrong with that change. Hello Aksha, or I mean Akash. Static cast from Arch. What's the delay of the chat? I answered almost immediately and then I typed it. Stop floating, man. It's not cool. Set a cost again. What? Yeah, let's see, there's a problem. This is a non-const function. Create vertex buffers. How on earth can I be calling that here? Where are we? Where are we in the first place? In initialize, yeah, and I already have a window that was being cast. This is also not allowed. Chess, let's play chess. I don't feel like coding anymore. I want to play chess. Oh no, help me. Space herb. What should I do here? It's still theory, isn't it? It's going for this. I would like to end up there. I don't think I can go here. I need to play this pawn. Or would he? If he plays this pawn, then yeah, no, that would be horrible. Well, I guess I'll just have to I'm gonna go here. Castle, please, castle. It's not castling. This guy is not castling. I'm sure I'm going to lose, really. No idea what I'm doing. Shall I castle to this side as well? Yeah. This knight is positioned so badly. Could go here. And then nothing. Let's develop my queen. Make room for a rook. My knight is back in the game. I didn't like it at all that night, but now it's attacked twice, defended twice. It's going to take it back like this, why not? See what a beautiful knight. Knight can go here, rook here, bishop there. And attacking like crazy. He's dead. Well, not really. But almost. It's time to use all my pieces. Threatening to take his pawn. Well, why not? Definitely a why not move. Let's attack this one more often. Maybe I should go away from this file here. I have this nice thread here, check, but that only helps if we can take it here. So unless he is going to move his queen away from the defense of f7. Ooh, I'm scared. One, two, three. Well, he has to defend it. Oh, not really the right square here, maybe. Oh no, he can take my knight. He was attacking my knight. No, it's not really attacking my knight, I think. He's just making a hole for his bishop. He weakened his king side. It's more like it. Defend that pawn, not with this rook. Oh, with the knight. So now the knight is gone. It brings his bishop as well. So I have now 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers and 1, 2, 3 defenders. I can just take it. I can just take it, and then he takes maybe this pawn here, attacking my queen. Yeah, that would be nasty. And this pawn is probably also going to fall. I take with the bishop, attacking his queen. He takes my pawn. I take a queen. He takes a queen. I take a rook. That would be good. So attack like this. He has to take back. Could take back with the rook. That wouldn't work. Damn it. Running out of time as well. I'm just going to take because I don't have time. It's probably not good. He's going to take here and then everything collapses. Oh, he didn't. Oh, that's really strange. Am I not a pawn up? Let's exchange everything and win the game, right? 40 seconds left. Who cares? If you're a pawn up, you don't have to think anymore. Is this my plus pawn or is this my plus pawn? What do you guys think? Okay, I have to defend it. And he's still completely right. He's winning back my pawn. Oh, not yet. Defending my rook. I wanted to place it here. Stupid. Well, let's just resign. I'm not going to play this. Well, too bad. Yeah, well, I could say I made a mistake because I felt time pressure. So he's kind of deserved to win by putting me in time pressure, I guess. Now you play chess as well, Demir? Well, sure. You want to play? Okay, let's play chess. Just play chess today. White chess again. You can challenge me. This is my nickname here. I don't know how that works. If you send me, if someone sends me a challenge, if I see it on lightchess.org. I thought you were just challenging me to a game, Demir. You said 1 versus 1. So is anyone going to challenge me? I don't know. Tell me in the chat. Otherwise I just close the window again. Mario is going to challenge me. I don't know how. I will see that if it pops up somewhere. Oh, there we are. What is your rating? 2100. Oh my god. I don't know how to accept this. I have to click that. Jesus. And then it didn't work. I'll challenge you instead, I guess. How do we do that? 3 minutes? No. 10 minutes? It's too much. So 5 minutes, 5-second increment. So I do 3 seconds increment. Rated, of course. Aha! I am already out of my opening. I'm just gonna play boring. Black anyway, right? Completely symmetrical. It has to be good. That is true. I am +3. Oh, not anymore. Yeah, let's move this away, right? or not. I'm glad you finally think. It's impossible to calculate for me. I'm bad at calculation. But I think I do this. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm losing. That was not smart. No, he's not... Oh, wait a minute. And I'm losing on time, almost. This thing is defended, of course. Let's go back. And 25 seconds. Tick, 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 tick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too many. Cannot get him in. Cannot let him. Oh, he's going to do something, but what? Oh, sorry. Take back. That was a sleep. It's your turn. Move the pawn. Oh, let's continue playing. Thank you. Oh well, undeserved. It was of course an easy win. So yeah, let's play. Picking here. Bah! I hate chess. Nah, not that high. Yeah, I think light chess is rated much higher than real life. I guess it's dinner time. Oh. It is exactly dinner time. I guess I could do these things. Yeah, I'm going to make dinner, and then I'll be back doing this. Thanks for the game. I'm same. Well, we have a major problem here with the window thing. Major. This is the frame resources count application, which that only has one pipeline in there. Therefore, only one pipeline factory. Therefore, only one thread calls this function. And therefore I can call some non-const function on the window. But that's not the idea. Initialize might be called by many threads. It should not do anything that has anything to do with the window. Well, I can read stuff from it if I really need to. So what are we reading here? The background texture. That's just things that we need to do, and I changed that super recently, like yesterday, to now accept a const texture. Now, that's already an improvement, of course, so that's why I can pass a const window and then we can just read it as well. I'm using this texture. And build shader also takes a const. Passing around the const thing and then just reading from it is okay if you do that by many threads. Except of course when some other thread that's not calling this at the same time is writing to it, to what you read. So it's kind of dubious, but I think the general idea is that I'm done writing to my window. From here on it's just a const thing, but apparently I'm not. So really what I really should do is split up the window members into multiple objects, so that I can change some subsection of it, and while another section of the members of the window is being manipulated by a given thread, and then other threads can read not that. Really need a mutex, kind of. Well, yeah, at least some kind of protection that I do not read and write at the same time. So even this is dubious. What I'm even passing a const pointer is dubious, because then I will be reading it. And who knows, some other thread is still changing it, right? Well, that should never be the case. That would be weird. That would be weird. I should know if I want to use a certain data from my window object, then I should know if that has already been generated, if it is already initialized or not. There cannot be really a race condition there, or I would find out and then understand that I just have to wait for the initialization to finish. But then we have this call here, create vertex buffers. What? This one calls logical device. That would be safe, I think. I'm not even sure if logical device is thread safe. The FAQ again. I'm sure someone else is going to answer. No? Okay, I'll type it in. A programmer. You mean programming, or? I started when I was 12 with coding. Does that count? Okay, I think that this is the only problem. This call is the only thing that really makes use of a non-const window. Cast is where to begin with, because I already have a casted window. And I hope it's not compiling. Okay, Dennis, how old are you now? It's just a matter of doing nothing else, sacrificing your whole social life? No, it's not true. Started early, but I did kind of finish university. And then did a PhD for a while, physics. And I had another hobby even. I even had a sort of a social life. When did you start doing anything with computers? A little bit of coding? Or did you only play games on your computer? If you say you want to be like me, then I guess you're already into programming. Even just a little bit. I think the very first program that I wrote was a program, I wrote it on paper even. So I didn't have a computer. And that was printing out, it was written in BASIC, and it printed out all prime numbers under 256 or something like that, because the array didn't go larger. People are mostly here to watch coding, right? Programming in general, not really for Vulkan. So I can show something else that I did. It's kind of funny, I think. Now I thought about it. Not sure if it's on the projects, probably not. No. Let's look at C++. I don't have C++. Do I have C++? I have C++. What do you have here? Oh, buckets. That's all. I wrote a program buckets when I was young, also a teenager. Can hardly imagine that it was. That this is not the same program. Maybe later I tried it again. I'm kind of curious if it works. I don't think it's even finished. No. It's probably a very small thing that I started and then never finished. Okay, it's not entirely empty. So this would be a nice program for anyone who wants to learn to program. Write the buckets program. So let me compile it again. Hopefully it at least compiles. Algo.h, nobody knows what that is. I don't know. Anything.h is not. You can see that. Is this bit rot or is it just I couldn't code back then? O stream. No such type. That's really strange. I have IO stream, of course. O stream. How the hell can this ever have compiled? Yeah. Bum bum bum, where do the errors start? I think here, vector, now we have the same problem. I think, don't tell me I used using namespace std here, but it looks like it. I don't like using namespace std, so I'm not going to do that. Apparently you also have list. After all these compile problems, even at first start, you start to wonder if this program is doing even anything at all. Going to do anything at all. Error sort was not declared. Okay, that was the algorithm. I think this program is so old that thinks that this program is literally so old it was written before the C++ standard. So everything was still outside of std. And that I think that because it's 2001, it's not even, I think C++ already existed then. But algo.h, I mean, hello, it's algorithm. So it was written at a time that even algorithm didn't exist yet, apparently. Or maybe I'm super mistaken. Now what? Memset, it doesn't know memset. Well. And that was defined in C string. Set is not declared. Okay. Yep. So out was not declared. I think after this one the number of errors should go down drastically. Well, how much more do we have? 3 more. Of course, CR had to be there too. Usage, number of buckets, largest bucket. Let's try or size. What? Oh, let's try 413. That's interesting. It creates a puzzle and then solves it. So I type in 4 buckets and the largest bucket is 13. And then it found the most difficult puzzle, being that you have buckets with volume 2, 9, 11 and 13. 13 is full and the objective is 13 full? Yeah, 13 is full. And the objective is to make 12 liters. So the way to do that is you have 13 in the last bucket. You pour 9 liters into the second bucket. So 4 will be left here. And then you pour 2 liters into the first bucket. So 7 are left here. And then you pour those 2 in the bucket of 13 liters, which now contains 6. And then you pour again 2 from here in there, which gives you 2, 5, 0, 6. And then you add 2 also to the 8. And you do it again. 2 from this one into there. And then the 2 is also added to it. And you do it again. And then you add that 2. And then finally you have 12. So that's the buckets problem. Is there a puzzle online with buckets? Buckets puzzle. Bucket puzzle problem. Measure 4 liters using 3 buckets. Lekker op. 8, 5 and 3 liters. The bucket have no measurements, blah blah blah. You are asked to measure exactly 4 liters. How could you measure exactly 4 liters using only the buckets and provided that you have as much extra water as you need? Okay, that's annoying, but it starts with fill 8 full, so that's matching. So I have 8, 5 and 3. 3, 5, 8, does it work? Okay, we start with 8 and this is the solution. You pour 8 in the middle bucket and then that one in the first bucket and then the 3 back in the third one and then the 2 into from here to there and then the 6 into the 5 bucket and then the 5 fills the 3 buckets, leaving 4 left. Okay, those who were watching and interested in learning to code, write this program. Is anything not clear about how it works? Again, it asks for either you enter just the sizes of the buckets, and I think that the largest bucket is then filled. And then it, or you just type the number of buckets in the largest bucket, and then it generates the most difficult puzzle that it can find, so that it takes the longest. So you have to not just solve it, you also have to write a program that finds the most difficult thing. So I could make, say, 5 buckets, which is ridiculous, of course. The original was 5 buckets, and the largest 113 looks like. Nice number. I wonder how long this is going to take. But it already spits out puzzles. So you have, say you have buckets with 2, 9, 11, 13 and 113. The last one is full, and you have to create 97 liters with that by pouring one bucket into the other, back and forth. Even more difficult. So this takes 7, you have to pour milk or water from one bucket into another 12 times, and then you can make 73. But this takes a bit too long. Let me make it 4 buckets to be a lot faster. Yeah, of course it's going to run over all the sizes of all buckets. So you have 3 for loops that run over 113. So it's, well, it's not 113 to the power 3, but close to it. Well, significantly less, but still close to 1 million attempts. And then it has to solve that. So it has to solve 1 million puzzles. Still kind of slow. Feels like kind of slow. Extra bonus points when you make a program that is fast, like immediate. Who cares? Number of 8 buckets, large buckets, still being fast. This is clearly just brute force, so it's not being intelligent at all. Makes up a nice puzzle though. Yeah, 37. That's a lot better than these 4 steps. Maybe 7 steps. Can I write a comment? That would be fun. Now solve this puzzle. make 50. Maybe I should have compiled with optimization. Okay, it still takes so long. What I'm interested in though is if you have, say, 5 doesn't print a request volume. How much larger do we have to get that? Oh yeah, requested volume 5. Yeah, volume to make is 5. But it's about the number of iterations. I think 2. Like 1, 2, 3, I would say. 3 steps. Okay, now I make it a little bit larger. Still 3 steps. And now it's 5 steps. And even more. And even more. And even more. Etc. So the larger the bucket, the more steps you need. If you pick the right puzzle. That's a pretty boring puzzle though. It's not very interesting. But it does seem like that, say, picking a prime number is gets more difficult things than picking something else. It's just the larger the bucket, the more difficult it is. Okay, this looks more interesting. It's not as easy. So you could say 4 buckets, these sizes, please make 10. Yeah, and then you have a difficult puzzle. But what I was really looking for was something that generates prime numbers, alright? Primes. Probably doesn't work. No, it does work. Okay, if you know the array of the sieve of Aristoteles, I think it is. They make an array, and then for the prime 2, you just fill every other element of the array with the 1, and then the first element that is empty is the 3. And so you fill the 3 and then every 3. So you fill the array 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, etc. It causes you sometimes to fill a bucket that was already filled with because it was divisible by 2. And now if it's divisible by 6, you would fill it twice. But sometimes you fill the odd numbers that are divisible by 3 but still empty. And you kick those out as well. So then the first bucket that is empty after that is the 5, and so on. Well, you should know that, how that works. I made a different approach. What I do is, instead of filling in a large array every 2, I store that array as this. So this is an infinite array, where every even element has been filled. And from that you can still deduce that 3 is the next prime. Maybe this is the one next, I'm not even sure. Where we get this. This looks more like I don't even know what it means, but I don't know what it means anymore. I would guess we start with an array where all the even numbers are already out of it. Yeah, it's probably it. So this shows +1 means that none of the buckets is filled, because we only have the odd numbers. And then +2 means, yeah, I don't understand how 2 comes there. Well, I can see that the +2 means anyway that 3 + 2 is 5, this is a prime number, +2 is 7, which is a prime number. No, it works differently. But, well, to make a long story short, I forgot how it works, and you see that it is fast, because the only thing it generates is +1 and then +2, and then +2 +4, which is a lot less than a large array filled with a lot of things. So next you get, it generates 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, and 37 all at once. And then it gets to the next array. And then it generates all these prime numbers at once, except that 91 is not a prime. So it doesn't work. Why does it not work? How can we fix it? You can't. Of course you can't. It's still an interesting program. Guess it was this one. From the looks of it, it's not written very object-oriented. It's very small. So anyone wants to try it out? I have a class called prime. Also in a large array, which is just used to as a control. And then the main function, some initialization, and then a big for loop. So I knew that it was not a prime because of the control array. And that's the whole program. That is really something that you can do as a first program, if you understand what I mean. The program itself is hardly using anything difficult, it's just a little bit of output, a few operators, and still it's still super interesting. I guess your main task here would be to figure out what the hell it is doing and how it works. There's a readme, let me see what that is. And this explains how it works, I think. Okay, let's go over it. So my method to generate primes, which fails, it failed as you could see, but it is that a table with all positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. can also be presented as its start value, that would be a 0 or 1, and a list of offsets. So this can also be represented as +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. Note that it repeats after one sequence and could be written as just +1, and then you know that if you get at the end, you have to start at the beginning again. So it's just +1, repeated forever. If you remove all the even numbers from that table, so that was what you do, the sieve of Aristoteles, you strike out all the numbers that can be divided by 2. That are all the even numbers. So you are left after that with just all the odd numbers. Then of course you have +2, +2, +2, +2, +2, which can be written as just repeating +2. Next you would want to remove all the numbers from the table that can be divided by 3. After which you have this. So basically this is, if you think about the sieve of Aristoteles, these are then the buckets that are left that are still empty after you filled every other bucket for the 2 and skipping every 3, removing every number that is divisible by 3 as well. And this can be written like this. It's +4, +2, and then repeating. If we remove all numbers from that table that can be divided by 5, that's the next, we get this. It can be written as 6424242 repeated. Now how do I know that it repeats? Because at the moment I add +2, I have added up and I add up all those things. So I'm just finding the 6 and the 4 and the 2, etc. And at this point, when I also keep track of the sum of them, I reach 5 times 6. Where the 5 corresponds with this thing and the 6 corresponds with that one. And the same occurred here. Here we had, we were removing all numbers with 3, so doing the 3, we have a 3 here, and the +2 is just simply the sum of that +2, so this 2, or this 2. So the next time we would repeat after, well, the next is 7, and the previous sum is 30. So it repeats after the total table reaches 7 times 30, 210. It doesn't say it anymore, but I bet that. Oh, sorry. This if you after the 7, yeah, I would think that then this whole sum is 210. Well, I guess it should be. And then 210 times 11, that would be the sum of this array. So then the only thing that's really left is how do you find the next offset from the previous one. And apparently this explains that. It is probably easier to understand this from the source code that I just showed. So yeah, it's just fun things to play with. It's a really simple, small program. Well, this is not super simple, but if you look at this, it's a primes 1. This is just, I'm still doing that. It's only offset stuff. Well, I would just start with a simpler way to generate primes, just that thief of Aristoteles thing, and then you can practice a bit with coding without immediately going into 3D graphics. I think that would be a bit high, crossed a bit high as you're just beginning. See what other interesting programs I have. Greedy, it looks like a game. Yeah, that's not finished. Firma. Also doesn't look finished. So it's a performance check. Old programs where I still use the void between braces. Now I even have it in my syntax highlighter as an error. Don't do that. Main is not void. Just this should not occur in your programs. In C++ anyway. If it is finished, that would be a very interesting one, I think. Main.cz. Looks finished. So no comments. So the era where I never wrote a comment. No readme either, nothing. And I bet that makefile doesn't work. Yep. It's depending on something that I don't have anymore. And also written before the headers were all settled. I would say that string len is not a member. Why not? Oh, I added string meant C string. So these are these kinds of puzzles. And you have sentences like there is a Brit that likes lives in the red house and owns a horse and does not drink coffee. You know, it's things like that. And on a lot of those sentences. And this program solves that. It just prints the solution is bang, and then you have the solution. But I don't know what this is. A character that does not exist apparently. Crash. Nope. There's a puzzle. It must be those sentences must somehow. I think that's this. Well, anyway, that's another idea. So you know this kind of puzzle. They're called. This one is called a logic quiz, but maybe they are called differently these days. Let's have a look. You can find it on the logic quiz. Niveau 4, the most difficult one. Okay, yeah, it's in Dutch, but so I have month here is the same block, and subject is the same block, and then you have age and speaker, I guess. So in total I see 1, 2, 3, 4 different things, subjects in total. And then you have here, it says in December you meet someone who does not who is not named Tycho. Oh no, sorry. In December, what is it? In December kom iemand. This is not even Dutch. How can I translate it? I think there's a T missing here. In December, someone comes speak about fireworks who is not named Tycho. And in May, a 45-year-old is speaking about freedom. And Janet speaks about fake weapons. So that would be this one here. Etc. So the objective then is to write a program that solves this kind of things. Yeah, what other things do we have here? This is 4 in a row, I think. Of course, this is not running anymore. Yeah, there's a makefile, but I doubt that it runs. Nope, same thing. We'll never know how to compile this. Maybe I should just install proto-dir again. I once had a project called proto-dir that made it easier for me to make use makefiles. It's kind of a precursor to, or if that's the right word, for auto tools, I guess. think I just have to compile all of this. How about just trying to compile that? Yeah, I get the same problem again. OStream is not even put in standard namespace. And I'm including files at end of .h, which is also not. It's so old. This it's really pre C++ standards, if you ask me. Have to fix that. Stack, it's the only thing. I want to get rid of those void things. Okay, who begins? C or H? I don't know what C or H stands for. 4 on a row, that is... Oh, computer or human? Let the computer begin. Computer throws in column 4. Oh, what shall we do? 3. Computer throws again in 4. Let's throw in 4 then. Computer throws again in 4. I think this time I'm going to throw in... in 3. Yep, and we throw again in 3. And it gives the game away. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Assertion. It's rather courteous admitting that I did win. Okay, it doesn't look finished, I have to admit. But nice colors, yeah. Seriously, it's the only thing that it does is throw in 4. Yep. It doesn't even see that I have 4 in a row. Yeah, okay, it's not finished, unfortunately. But hey, this is apparently also a good idea for people who want to start coding and need ideas. This is object oriented, as you can see. We have an object for the whole board, and we have an object for one column. I even have an object for a column number, a direction, a field, I guess it's just one field, an object for a move, an object for who. Let's have a look at the who. So there's a class who, which has is a wrapper around in simple enum, which says that it's a turn of the human, or turn of nobody, or the turn of the computer. Well, maybe not even just turn, but even maybe who's winning or whatever. That's who. And we can print it for all kinds of reasons, I guess, mostly debugging reasons. It automatically converts to the enum type. Pass this thing to a function that takes a who int, whatever that is. And if you call toggle on it, then that's like changing the whose turn it is. So nobody goes to nobody, computer goes to human, and human goes to computer. Nice little class. And we have another class here, direction. Let's see what that is. Also an enum, which lists all the possible directions. And again, direction is just a wrapper around it. Let's see the board. The board is larger. The board consists of 7 columns. And it knows whose turn it is. Oh, there's a class inside board, it's called columns. And then the board has a columns member. I guess one of the things that definitely fail is best move. I wonder what that is defined. I guess in board.cc best move. Yeah, best move is always column 4. Well, that's too bad. But you got to start with the framework, so all the classes and stuff, and the input, IO input, debug output. So you can you can print all your classes. And then once you set this up, and this is again pretty small, you know, it's really a good program, I think, to begin with, as a beginner. It says 2007, but I don't think I wrote it then. No, well, maybe, I don't know. Okay, it's time to stop the stream again. And when I get back, then I'll just return to my project, this one. I'll have to think about the create vertex buffers, what I want to do with that. Oh, now I remember, an hour ago I said I'm going to make dinner. Yeah, that was an hour